Hey everybody, it's me. I wanted to get on here because I have plans today, but it's been a long day. I think I've said this. I don't like the weekends at my house. Um on the weekends, it is horrible. Especially when people are home or the whole household is home. I know everybody else that's out there working every day looks forward to the weekend because that's when you can get things done. I am opposite. I cannot stand the weekends in my house. Um, so I have a sick kid, so he is sick. So he stays in his room. When you're sick in my house, you stay in your room. You don't, and the only time you can come out is if you wear a mask, to come downstairs, get what you need, and go back upstairs. Um, that doesn't mean other people still don't get sick, but trying to protect, other people. So, I have a sick kid. Um, I woke up this morning, um, had a conversation, I guess you could say conversation, with my son, my other son, who, I thought, it seemed like he came a long way, kind of taking 2 steps back for a few minutes, which I hope does not end up affecting him. Anyway, so I started yelling at him because I was so frustrated. No, like, you just don't need to wake up with, like, bad news. You don't need to be woken up with, hey, guess what, I got in trouble, or, things like that. Um, that's not what it was, but, that kind of stuff, right? And so I started yelling, and so we came downstairs, and I'm yelling at him and explaining to him why I'm right. And I know that sounds funny, right? But I've been around for 41 years, guys. Like, I've never been through anything. Like, I've never done anything. Like, I've never made stupid choices in my life. Like, I haven't been around longer than you, which means I've learned more, and not more, but ahead of you. How about that? So yeah, it's frustrating, when kids don't listen. And did I always listen to my mom or my parents? No. But most of the time I actually did. Um, I listened more than they thought I did. Um, but I've also been through a lot throughout my life, more than I've ever told many people or, shared. Anyway, so I've been through quite a few things in my life, that were not always good. Anyway, so we're yelling at each other. I'm frustrated, and I have a husband who, um, well, anyway, he came in the kitchen and he was yelling, and, not at me per se, but that's basically what it came down to. So he turned everything out on me and started screaming at the top of his lungs like he hasn't done for years. Um, I've been so broken, as you guys know, because of my mom and just everything. And he started screaming because what it was he had to make everything about him, because it wasn't about him. And if it's not about him, then it needed to be about him right then. But then what he does is he decides, oh no, look, you're the one that's gonna yell, it looks like. So I'm gonna put my headphones in and ignore you because I don't want to fight type thing. If you guys know, you know. So he did that. And so we didn't talk the rest of the day. Except for to tell him my plans out of respect. Not my plans, but like, you know, other things out of respect. Not that he deserved respect, but I was raised better than that, okay? So he left for work. And of course, when he left for work, he was mad because he was the victim of how he treated me and how he screamed at me. And that's how it always turns out, is he's the victim. He does the silent treatment. He starts bringing up things from the past, because it goes from him screaming to make me mad, to, him being the victim, and he can't speak to me, and he wants nothing to do with me. So, that's why I hate weekends, first of all. That's why I don't look forward to him coming home. I don't want to say I walk on eggshells. I did at one point in our relationship. But I do like to go upstairs because he's never been a romantic partner. He doesn't pay attention to me whatsoever. We don't go on dates. We don't do anything together. I couldn't just stand up and start dancing with him. Not that kind of partner. You can't tell jokes because he takes everything serious. So that kind of stuff. So no fun at all. At all. Anyway, so that was my day today. So my eyes to me look like I've been crying. I don't know if you guys can tell, but I've definitely been crying, and my oldest was still here when I broke, because I was dealing with that, situation with my oldest, and then having my husband scream at me at the top of his lungs, and he never will apologize. He will just go on like nothing ever happened, because that's what always happens. Because there's no serious conversations about how you treat people. Anytime I have a serious conversation, he starts making jokes, which is basically saying your feelings don't matter, and I don't want to be an adult and deal with real life, as I'm sure a lot of you know. Anyways, so then, I took my shower, got ready, because I'm supposed to go out, and that's about it. Picking up groceries today for the week, except for it looks like I will have one kid home, and maybe at the doctor's, we'll see. So far, his ear is not popping. His ear pops, the last few times he's had ear infections. So hopefully this is something that he can get through without going to the doctor, but we'll see. And what else? I think that's about it. So, it's been a horrible day. Again, don't like weekends at my house at all. I did get a sweet message from my son, telling me to stop crying, and that he loved me, which was very, very sweet to me, because I have to say that I really believed so many years that my son didn't love me. And no, I'm serious. Obviously, I wouldn't get upset and stressed out if I didn't love my son, obviously. I want the best for him, and I'm here to teach him right from wrong. I'm here to teach my kids, here's what happened to me, here's what I did, here's what I've seen. And I know, again, I know so many people didn't listen to their parents growing up, but most of the time, your parents know better. Not always, but most of the time. Anyway, so that's been my day today. So it's been very sad. When I say that I broke today, I will say I broke. I haven't been screamed at that way for years. First of all. Second of all, I just got myself to the point of not being so depressed and down that I was feeling better. I even played Just Dance the other day because I love it. So yeah, so when I say I broke today, I broke. I broke so bad. I had to really try to keep myself, and if it looks like I'm about to cry, I am. I'm trying not to. When I say I broke, I mean I broke. I really am trying to keep myself out of the dark hole I was in again. But that's hard. So I need to make changes in my life. You know, they always say it's better to be alone. Now, there are so many people out there who think you cannot be single. That you have to have a partner. And that's not true. That is not true at all. You can even live together and not be together, especially with today's economy, and date other people. Okay, I things have to change in my life. They say I'd rather be single than with the wrong relationship. I've been with the wrong relationship for probably 20 years at this point. I know I have been. I'm the type of person that I hope people will change, and apparently I give them over 20 some years to change, to see their ways and change. And, the problem is when you break someone, they're not going to want to be with you. They go from being Betty Crocker. For example, when I first moved here, I had dinner on the table at 5. I made sure my house was clean before my husband was home. Throughout the years, now I'm down to cooking maybe 3 or 4 times a week, if that. I don't feel appreciated. I don't feel like there's nothing. Doesn't pay attention to me, doesn't hang out with me, doesn't take time for me. And there's so much that I'm not even going to get into. But, and I think I made videos maybe before, but when you don't feel appreciated, you don't want to do things for people. When you don't feel loved or safe or wanted or needed or so many things, or someone to take time for you. A job is wonderful. It puts food on the table. It pays your mortgages. But if you're spending more time at work than you are with your loved ones and taking time for them and date night and watching movies and eating popcorn and cuddling, stuff like that, being attentive, being there when needed. You shouldn't have to be asked to take time off. You shouldn't have to be asked to help clean the house or do things around the house. It shouldn't have to be asked. It shouldn't have to be begged for. Ever should any of that have to be begged for. If that is the person that you say you love, you take one day a week off. You spend time with them. You be with them. You go to the mall. You go places. You do things. You don't sit there and watch TV. You don't sit there and play with your phone and be like, well, we're spending time together when all you're doing is sitting in the same room. That's all. So, no, I'd rather be alone than in the wrong relationship. And I'm not getting any younger. I know that. Now, there's the people who want a relationship, but it's more that they don't want to be alone. And they're settling. They settle for you because you're the one that stayed. You're the one that's there. And I'm speaking on experience here, people. You're the one that's put up with their shit. I mean, let's be honest. You're the one that allowed them to act certain ways without making them change. If they wanted to change, they would have. If they wanted to change for you, for your relationship, for you guys to work, they would have. So, again, go be alone. You can be single and whoring around. No, don't do that. You can be single. They make toys for a reason, people. Be single. Have fun. Enjoy life. Life is so short. There is no reason in this world to be with the wrong person. And it's sad that I'm just learning that at my age. It is. I mean, I knew that from my past relationships when I was like a teenager. Um, you know, but I hang on because I put so much hope in people that I hope they're going to see how they treat people. I hope they're going to change. I hope they're going to see where they were wrong and how they treated me and feel bad. And everything was going to change. And we all know that's not going to happen. Especially when you get to a certain age. You're so set in your ways that is not going to change. And I know this. I guess in my head, but my heart doesn't. I don't know. Anyway, so I hope things change. I'm hoping they do soon. I will talk to you guys later. Sorry this was so depressing today. But this is real life. This is real life sometimes for people. And life is not always happy in rainbows, right? Or is it sunshine and rainbows? I don't know. Talk to you guys later. Bye.